Good evening. Work is finally underway to move families out of the rundown Heath Town estate in Wolverhampton, so some areas can be demolished and new homes built. But there are fears the regeneration may never actually happen, as no developer has yet been found to take on the project. In the meantime, many people are now living in decaying high-rise flats, and West Midlands Police say crime has gone up by a quarter in the past 5 years. Ben Godfrey reports.
To the northeast of Wolverhampton, another large redevelopment has now been completed in the Heath Town area.
It was the great hope for Wolverhampton, an estate built in the 1960s offering affordable high-rise living.
This site, which is divided by a main road, was linked at upper level by a pedestrian bridge.
But 50 years on, residents tell us Heath Town is drifting backwards.
When I first lived here, the community was more together. The younger generation, they kept themselves to themselves and not sort of mixed with the older ones who were still left in the community.
3 years ago, Wolverhampton City Council put forward a plan to demolish Sherville Rise to create 300 new homes on the estate. But there's been no significant regeneration. And this former city mayor doubts it will happen.
People come up to me every week saying, well, you know, when are things going to move? It's like Groundhog Day, where you have the same issues, same ideas, same schemes being repeated day after day, and that gives me real concern.
Rashid Abdulhahi has yet to learn when his clothes shop will be demolished.
This is a council house, so it is more cheaper than the city centre, so we cannot afford to move somewhere else at the moment.
So then, what is happening? Well, the original master plan has changed and now includes the relocation of a GP surgery, along with new sports pitches after residents were consulted. And the budget has gone up to £5 million.
We are looking probably up to 12 months before any demolition works started. The development across the estate will be looking at a developer to provide that funding and build the new houses for market housing. That's how the project will work.
Have you identified a developer?
Not at this stage. We're still currently developing a procurement brief and we want to make sure we get that exactly right.
The scheme about 15, 17 years ago was a £27 million scheme, funding from the government, and we lost that.
Yesterday, Louisa Kolek from Poland was the first to be moved from Sherville Rise to neighbouring Park Village.
The house is much better place for my family, obviously. The flats were old as well. There was lots of, I can say, mold. There was a lot of mold. We were fighting with it constantly.
Many flats are being refurbished. They're home to some 50 nationalities, living in social harmony, say residents. But many are now losing faith in the local authority. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Wolverhampton.
And Ben is with me now. So is this work ever going to happen in Heath Town?
Well, tonight the Deputy Leader of Wolverhampton City Council, Nick, said unequivocally this regeneration will happen. And not only that, it will deliver much needed investment to the area. Now, the intention is there clearly, but when you're talking about building 300 homes, a need for private investment, acquiring a developer, it is questionable on timescale. The City Council answered that one as well today. They said those homes could be built in 7 years.
Is this a problem elsewhere in the region? Because there's an increasing demand, isn't there, for rented homes?
When you look across the Midlands, councils are in a similar position. They've got all these high-rise apartments that are seen as the height of luxury back in the 1960s, now decaying, and simply they can't afford to renovate them and refurbishment. Sometimes it's actually cheaper to knock them down, as they've done in parts of Birmingham. Wolverhampton, for instance, are actually building again the first council homes in another part of the city in 30 years.
Ben, thank you.